Have you ever packed up a room that was once full of life and felt a strange kind of emptiness settle in? Maybe you've moved house or watched someone you love move on, and for a moment you've wondered, where do I belong now? That feeling is real. It's not weakness. It's just what happens when the ground shifts. And if you're in a season of change right now, in your core or your church, your family, or even in your own heart, then this devotional is for you. Hidden inside one of the oldest stories in the Bible is a line that speaks directly into that question. Let's sit with it together for a few minutes. The line comes from 1 Samuel chapter 25, spoken by a remarkable woman called Abigail. She's talking to David at a moment when his life feels like it's hanging by a thread. He's running. He's uncertain. He doesn't know what's coming next. And she says this. Listen carefully. Even when you are chased by those who seek to kill you, your life is safe in the pouch of the living Lord your God, secure as a stone in a sling. That word pouch is worth pausing on. In David's world, a shepherd kept his best stones in a small leather pouch, close to his body, chosen and carried with care. These weren't random pebbles. They were kept. They mattered. And Abigail tells David, that's where you are. Not abandoned, not forgotten, not left behind. You are held deliberately, carefully, by the living God himself. Here's the first thing I want you to notice. There's a real difference between being protected and being held. A wall can protect you, but only someone who loves you holds you close. Abigail doesn't say David is behind a barrier. She says he's in a pouch, close, carried, and kept. When a leader moves on, when the baton changes hands, it's easy to feel like you've been left on the shelf, as if your place was somehow tied to them. But your belonging has never lived in a person's hands. It has always been in God's. Second, and this really matters, the pouch doesn't change. The stone doesn't fall out when the shepherd walks a new road. God's keeping of you isn't conditional on your circumstances staying the same. The season changes, but his hold on you doesn't. Fanny Crosby knew this. In her song, He Hideth My Soul, she wrote of being hidden in the depths of God's love, covered there with his hand, not shielded from afar, held close. That's what belonging to God actually feels like. Third, being held like this isn't passive. It's freeing. When you know you belong, truly belong, to the God who carries you, you don't have to grasp, you don't have to prove yourself, you don't have to earn your place in the new season. You already have one. You still belong, not because of who leads your core or your church, not because of the role you play, but because the living God has you in his keeping, and he has never once dropped anyone he has chosen to carry. Here's a tiny step for today. Find somewhere quiet, your kitchen, your car, a lunch break at work, and say it out loud. I still belong to God. Not as a performance, not as a pep talk, just as a truth you're choosing to receive. You don't have to feel it first to say it. Sometimes we speak the truth before we feel it, and that's okay. Today's question for you. Has there ever been a moment when you needed to be reminded you still belonged somewhere? Share it in the comments. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs today. In the meantime, let me pray with you. Father, when the ground shifts and we wonder where we stand, remind us that we are held, safe in your keeping, close to your heart, Help us rest in that today. Amen. Tomorrow we look at Ananias, a faithful man who received an unexpected call at exactly the right moment. I really hope to see you then.